Take my breath away. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Take my breath away. Boom, boom. I'm trying to recreate the ice cold refreshment of a Coors Light. It's not happening. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
One man decides to go to Japan and film a bunch of commercials. Jean-Claude Van Damme in Japan commercials. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Jean-Pod Van Damme cast. It is Jeff and John in studio here today in beautiful Wyandotte, Michigan. It is not spring here, even though it's supposedly supposed to be.
Lies.
But that's Michigan for you. And today, if you didn't catch that, we're going to be talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme in the commercials.
Oh, he has some good ones, too.
Oh, my gosh, man. First off, I didn't realize how many commercials he was in.
I think I watched a good 15, 20 commercials. No, it had to have been way more than that, because like the Coors Light commercials alone were 12.
12, yeah, seriously, man.
So I probably watched around 30 commercials.
Yeah, he's in a handful. And secondly, the thing that's crazy is patreon.com/podbros if you want to donate to us. And I got to say, here's the crazy thing. We have a patron.
Yes, we do.
And I mispronounced his name.
I had a feeling that it had. Well,
thank you.
We spoiler alert. We gave a spoiler alert that we would mispronounce it. So
that's true. I did. It's if I didn't mispronounce your name, then things would be we'd be cursed.
Yeah, you could tell that we don't care if we pronounce it properly.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. At Midwestern Apology, if I don't throw that apology out, then I don't care. So Lee, thank you so much, Lee. It was like, hey, you got a patron, and I was like, what? I was like, oh my goodness.
First, well, we have hundreds, of course, but this is the first one that we're going to mention.
Yep, that's it. No one else gets a mention. So, yes, thank you, Lee, so much. We truly appreciate it. Lee gets that special edition hidden bonus episode of Jean-Pod Van Damme cast that no one else gets.
Nope, just him.
And we're not even going to tell you what it is. The only way you'll find out what it is if you become a patron on patreon.com/podbros. Also, if you don't want to do that, but you shop on Amazon, you can use our link at podbros.com. Scroll down, hit that Amazon button. It doesn't cost you anything.
It's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. It helps us out. It helps you out. Everyone wins.
You're going to shop on Amazon.
Well, that's exactly it. You got your Prime. Might as well help out some of your podcasting fans, friends, fans.
We're your fans.
We're your fans, too. We love you.
Mutual fans.
Yep, mutual
We're all
fanship.
fans of each other.
Yep, that's exactly it. This is like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the Podbros Podcast Neighborhood. So, yeah, we have that. And also, last but not least, please rate us and write us a review on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher app. That helps us get into other people's ears, and thank you so much. I got to say, man, I went to, oh, man. So last week, we told you we had our very own email, jpvdamcast@gmail.com. I think we did, or else I said we were getting
we mentioned it.
We did mention it? Okay, good. So that's jpvdamcast@gmail.com. This week, we have our own Twitter.
Ooh, hell yeah.
At Damcast. DAMMECAST. Damcast. And, of course, we follow Jean-Claude Van Damme. And a fake Jean-Claude Van Damme account followed us.
Nice.
Trying to be like it's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Even better. You don't know. It could be him. It could be him disguising himself as a fake Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, that's true. That's
He's
totally
sneaky
true.
enough to do something like that. He's a master of disguise.
That's true. Totally. So, yeah, we are on Twitter now on our own personally. It's not just the @Podbros Network. We have our own @Damcast. So get us on that. And if I don't respond to you within the day, it's because my phone didn't notify me for whatever reason that I had notifications. But I try to check it once a day anyway. So, yeah, we're on there. I'm really excited, which brings me to my next point. Our buddy Marcus with the Jean-Pod Van Damme podcast. I haven't heard from him in a while, man.
Uh-oh.
I had to look on Twitter, and he hadn't been on since, I want to say, January or February. I was a little concerned, so I need to shoot him an email. Hope all is well, Marcus. That's our shout out to you.
Hell yeah.
Check out his episodes as well. I can't thank him enough for being so kind to us, being like, hey, get rid of that.
Cease and desist at once.
Yeah, so hopefully everything's going all right. Shout
I
out
think
to Marcus.
I don't know. He might have been attacked by Eastern European human traffickers.
That's totally true. That's
or
totally
people
true.
that hunt people for sport.
Yeah, man. Which, spoiler alert, next week you'll be getting a review of Hard Target 2.
Mm-hmm.
But now that that's all said and done, we are going to be going over some commercials. And this is going to be basically kind of a different episode in a way, because there is really no IMDb about commercials, so we can't really talk on that end of things. However, we're just going to talk about some of the commercials we viewed and what they were about, and I guess in a way at the end of this talk about what our favorite ones were. So I think to start off, probably the best one to talk about actually is pretty much the most popular one that he's had.
And the one that broke out as a gigantic meme phenomenon.
Holy,
it had 20 or 30 different parody videos of it.
I know, man.
Really good ones, too.
Yeah. There was that was the thing that really blew my mind. 88 million views on YouTube.
Yeah, for a Volvo truck commercial.
A Volvo truck commercial. Yep. Now, we knew everyone loves Van Damme, but we did not realize that they loved him that much. Now, this commercial is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
which
it's terrific.
They actually had like a documentary about the commercial. It's absolutely crazy, and it came out 4 years ago, which is weird.
Really?
To think. Yeah,
I thought
2014.
it feels like it was just like last year.
I know, man. I know, and it's Van Damme sitting between two semis, talking basically about being awesome, Van Damme, and then they do the splits. He does the splits in between on the mirrors of the trucks.
While moving.
In
reverse.
Reverse,
yeah.
exactly. In reverse. And it's basically saying, hey, this is how great Volvo trucks are, semi-trucks anyway. And apparently I have heard that the Volvo semi-trucks are actually really good. Don't quote me on that, but I have heard reviews.
Well, I mean,
of
if they're good enough to do the splits on.
Yeah. Could you imagine that whole setup, like being like, hey, we want to do this with you.
Hey, we got this idea for a commercial. There's a good chance you'll die.
Yep, you could possibly die. We do have some safety havens in place, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
your legs could get ripped off. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. It doesn't look real at all.
It doesn't, man. It doesn't look real. That's why they had.
There's conspiracy theorists about it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, proof that it's CG. Fake.
Yeah, man. That was I think with the memes coming from it, that's when everyone really starts to see you could do this with it, and then that's what makes it fake.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we got the Chuck Norris one that came from it. That was a very famous one, and then people joking.
The one of him doing the splits in an astronaut suit between two satellites.
Yeah,
that was a good one too.
Yeah. There was quite a few. I think was it Channing Tatum?
Yeah, Channing Tatum.
He did one
yeah.
too. That was kind of funny.
There's the one from like Bulgaria. There's a lot of really cool ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of them for real, man. But yeah, that one. What a surprising. I do you remember when it first came out, like seeing it?
I had heard about it. Like I never watched it because I didn't have cable at the time. But like I saw like 4 parody video suggestions in a row. I was like, what's going on? And I saw like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I got lucky. Like I saw it launch for whatever reason. I think probably because YouTube was like, "Hey, you Van Damme Mark, you're gonna love this." And I saw it and was like unbelievable. And at first I thought it was fake, but then I watched the documentary about it too, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
What a wild man to agree to do that.
I know, man. Seriously. So yeah, definitely. That's going to be your most famous Van Damme commercial. But right now, as we speak, there's a new series of commercials out, and I think we talked about it on one of the episodes a couple weeks ago. A Tostitos commercial.
Yes, I finally watched those.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Yeah, man. There's a handful of them.
He's such a ham when he wants to be.
I know, dude. I know. He's so funny.
Yeah,
too.
He's very. He does definitely have a goofy charm.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely, man.
Like the big goofy grin he throws out when he says.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
So the first one, I didn't know that there was more than one until we started looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one that I saw was basically "Don't Get Van Damned."
Yep.
And he's basically at a party saying, "This could be you, but you're a hermit and blah blah blah. You know, talking about
I
how
could feel him speking to me personally.
I know, right? I was just like, oh, this man in his 30s, he's talking directly to. And it goes from just being at the party and then being best friends, BFFs with your friends. And then they're like on the couch hanging out. They're at a bonfire hanging out. And then they're at a wedding and he's the best man, but then he's also the maid of honor. And he's like, don't get Van Dammed. And then it's like Tostitos, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a different types of salsa one.
Yes, that one I enjoyed quite a bit.
That
too.
one was hilarious.
It was very silly.
Which it basically it's still at the party, but he took every stereotype at the party, and he was like, "There's the mild, there's the hot.
Yep,
it's a hot dude. And
the
there's
cheese,
the cheesy,
yep.
and garlic." And he's like, "What? I thought it was a costume party."
Guy dressed up as Dracula.
Yep.
They've had the Dracula stereotype in there.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And that one was pretty funny. That's a smaller spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the one they're sitting around a campfire, which this one had me laughing too. He's like, a wise man once said that friendship goes together like chips and salsa. And he's like, the wise man was me. And then the kid next to him goes, no, it wasn't. It was me. And he looks at him. And the kid's like, I mean, it was you. I sometimes get us confused. And then it just ends, basically.
It's definitely one of the most vaguely threatening chips and salsa commercial ad campaigns I've ever seen. If you don't eat our chips and salsa, a man will take over your life in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm convinced.
Some gaslighting Tostitos, you know? So, yeah, definitely. Those have been funny. And it's kind of weird because, like, later on in his life, the commercials are more comedic now.
Yes.
And that takes us into our next ones, which are basically only UK-based, which I didn't know about these until basically we started the Van Damme podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for Coors Light.
Yeah, I didn't even realize they exported to the UK.
Yeah, I had no clue.
I don't know if this was like a big plunge into the territory or...
Right, yeah, I have no clue what it was all about.
These commercials were probably my favorite.
Oh, dude.
They're pretty magnificent.
These ones were, absolutely a blast. And there's like 12 of them.
None of them, like, I wasn't like, oh, here we go again.
Right,
all of them are really funny and entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though it's the same basic premise.
Yep.
A very silly and simple premise, but it's hilarious. It's a lot like a Japanese commercial where like you have them doing really zany and bizarre things and being really off the wall. It worked really well, I felt.
Oh yeah, me too, definitely. It started out with him basically doing like some funny dance moves and them calling him something. He's like the turtle, the frozen turtle,
the frozen turtle, yeah.
You know, and he's on the floor and
he has a mullet and he's wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, man. Sleeveless Canadian tuxedo on top of that. And I mean, he's got on like the bad 90s bleached acid jeans. And
sleeveless denim tucked in shirt.
Oh, dude.
It was magnificent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely beautiful. He's got like penny loafers on with white socks. Absolutely having a blast with it. And it goes from those dance moves to him like up in the mountains and stuff. And like all of them are talking about basically joining Van Damme's ice cabin or something.
Yeah,
like that
and he wanted his quest to achieve the cold. Yes.
The refreshing coldness of Coors Light. And we have him buried in snow at one point. He talks about how his nipples got so hard they started talking to him. He was like, you may think I'm crying, but it's actually my Coors Light, and it's on his forehead.
Yeah, pans back.
Yep.
They're all really good.
Oh, yeah. There's some great ones. There was a montage one where he's
Yes, that music was amazing.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's pulling a sled with his mullet of ice while he's holding and pulling ice, too.
This is the one where he constructed his
cabin. Yeah, definitely. And then... one of my favorites was the Take My Breath Away. He's in the snow doing Snow Angels, singing that song in his Van Damme voice, and it's absolutely hilarious.
That one was,
It was good. Definitely good. Snow Angels all around the place. Oh, man.
Still not able to achieve the refreshing coldness.
Yeah, that's right.
Coors Light.
That's right, of a Coors Light. Definitely. He tried.
I didn't realize the commercials were British. I would have figured they'd be like somewhere like in Korea or something.
I know, right? That was, that was
like,
the thing.
go to CoorsLight.co.uk.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow, no kidding.
Okay, and they had their own hashtag for it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of bummed that I didn't hear about this, like, giveaway, contest or whatever.
I would love to have gone to his cabin.
I know.
His ice cabin.
His ice cabin.
Achieve ultimate cold freshness.
Yeah, we could have gone hardcore there. Been a hard target. Anyway. Next up, we have his GoDaddy commercials, and these ones kind of came out of nowhere too.
Yeah,
like, the
I didn't even know
one
they
really
existed.
was weird. I remember the GoDaddy ones on TV legitimately,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it was around the time of the Super Bowl that they started coming out, but it was him all of a sudden. He just this business entrepreneurs in their place of business. One guy's making pizza, and he's getting things ready. He's prepping stuff, and then Van Damme comes out of nowhere, starts banging on the bongos, doing the splits on some flour and whatnot, all over the place
with an insane grin.
Yeah, yes, dude. He's just got like a Joker-like grin on his face, just kind of like doing like the eyebrows raised. And he's playing like a flute that's on fire, Peter Pan
Yes,
flute.
the panpipes that were on fire as he blew into.
Yeah, man, it was.
That's kind of a theme actually in his commercials because he's playing a panpipe of Coors Light.
Yeah, he was in the one. Yeah, you're right.
Attracted a wolf.
Yeah, that's right. He did. That's right. Oh my gosh.
New Van Damme trope.
Yep. Seriously,
the Van Damme pipes.
The Van Damme pipes. But in the GoDaddy one, basically he's silent, just with this grin.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one,
which is really unsettling.
Yeah, man. He's at a floral shop, and like the one was hilarious because the dude at the pizza parlors just kind of doesn't know how to react, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, he's getting me pumped. Okay, yeah, we're good." And it's like, "GoDaddy," and Van Damme says, "What's he say at the end of it?" I know how he pronounces GoDaddy. Pretty hilarious. He's just like GoDaddy, and. The one at the floral shop, the lady's just like dancing along with him too, and then it's ends, and he's like GoDaddy, and that's it.
Both are quite good, surprisingly good. Most GoDaddy commercials I am not fond of in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know when they originally started.
Danica Patrick.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, they originally started out very like sexist.
Yeah,
and it was really awkward and weird and. That was their big thing.
They're an older company, too, for a .com company. Man.
Yeah, definitely.
They've been through some ups and downs and are still around.
Yeah, yep, still chugging along. The next one's a really weird one. I don't know if you saw this one or not. This one happened a long time ago, basically at the start of Van Damme's career.
Was that the jeans commercial one?
The Versace
Yeah,
one?
it was Versace, that's right.
Yep. You have no clue. It is totally a Versace commercial. Van Damme's like making fake love to this woman. They're like making out,
dancing
kissing,
and making out. Yeah,
dancing. He's shirtless for some reason. And then he starts fighting dudes, but they're not really fighting. And like it's really just overlay on overlay of scenes. And you're like, what's going on here?
And as it turns out, it's a jeans commercial.
It's a jeans commercial. Yeah.
Like they never really, I don't remember them really closing up on his jeans in any specific way, shape, or form.
No, like the only time that you saw it basically was like when he's shirtless and it's just like the top of the jeans. And I think you hear like Versace. And then that was just like kind of it.
It's very understated.
Yeah, man. Yeah, very like I was expecting this to be like a cologne or perfume commercial because those are the weird ones like that.
Yeah.
And no, it was for the jeans.
Versace jeans.
Yep, made me uncomfortable while I was watching it at work. What's going on? I really love Van Damme. Then we start seeing Van Damme. Well, I shouldn't say start seeing him because he's done them in the past, Japan. But
quite a few.
He breaks out. He actually goes to other territories. We Europe, obviously, the UK, but Russia even.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's one. It's kind of funny. It's Ultra Tune, which is basically like a car company, road service company, and I think it's in the UK, where basically like these beautiful looking women end up getting a flat or whatnot. These guys all dressed up to look like gangbangers come up to him. Van Damme like steps out and he's getting ready to fight him, and they're all like, "It's Van Damme!" And they're pulling out stuff, and you think it's going to be weapons, but they pull out their phones and like notepads for autographs and stuff. And then the roadside guy comes up, and it's like Ultra Tune, blah blah blah.
Yeah, weird advertising.
Yeah, definitely funny. I mean, but definitely weird though too.
Like it could have been any service or product.
Yeah, and that's some of these like it totally is. It's just like put the product in Van Damme's hand after the commercial's done.
Have him do some kicks.
Yep, yeah. Which now we get into these might be my favorite commercials out of the bunch. The kind of OG commercials, his Japanese black commercials. Yeah, blacku, black. And I think there's 3 of them. There might be there's 4, I believe.
Yeah, they're all very similar premise.
Yeah, there's very similar. Like the one that shows up first is Van Damme sitting there, like just tired. He's got his head in his hands, and he's kind of doing that, leaning to one side. And they're like, "Oh, hey, try this." And it's not working, and then like they put clothespins all over him. That's not keeping up. Then he holds a bomb, and that
Dynamite.
And that explodes, and you get the cartoon after of like the black all over his face and his hair all frizzled and stuff, and that doesn't work. And then it's like blacku, and then he gives him the gum, and all of a sudden he's whoa, hey.
So it's coffee flavored gum or caffeinated gum?
Caffeinated gum. It's like a very I don't want to say, it's not like licorice. It's I was gonna say like black licorice, but it's not. It's almost pepperminty, spearminty in a way, but it has a different taste to it.
I'd imagine the bitterness of the caffeine would affect the flavor.
It really, and that's the thing too. After a little bit of having it, like, you can't really keep on it because then it does get really bitter and bland.
Yeah.
After you've chewed it for a little bit, and you're just kind of like, why am I still chewing this? Like I said, the hard candy though, that's pretty good. I've said in previous episodes.
Yes.
So there was that one. There's one he's like fighting dudes or whatnot, and then like falling asleep still while fighting him. Like girls around him falling asleep, and then all of a sudden black. Then there's one, he's driving behind a semi-truck. Yes. He's in a sports car. The semi-driver is just totally, like, falling asleep at the wheel. Van Damme pulls up next to him. He's like, black. Gives it to the semi-truck driver, and then everything's fine and dandy. And the last one is they're in a limousine. Van Damme's with some girl. They're all, like, making out and stuff, and the driver's falling asleep. It's the guy's going really slow or whatnot, and steps on the brakes and they fall forward, and then Van Damme rolls down the window. He's like, black, gives it to the limousine driver, and he wakes up, and then all of a sudden floors it. They're like, whoa, and that's it. So really, really fun, crazy commercials. This was the first time I really think that I was ever introduced to the fact that celebrities did commercials outside of the U.S.
Oh my God, no, insane jab, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, his are hilarious.
Of insane. Weird. Yeah, he has another. He did a coffee flavored.
Yeah,
it was a coffee like energy shot beverage thing. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, insane. Yeah, those are amazing.
Hulk Hogan had some good ones.
Yeah,
too.
He did.
Like air conditioners and really weird random products.
There's some hilarious MMA fighter ones too.
I can believe it.
Like at the time when Pride was a big thing, it was like, I believe it was Mark Coleman and Wanderlei Silva.
Yeah.
Wanderlei, the axe murderer from Kickboxer Retaliation. So we're bringing this all in. It's connected. It's a shaving commercial, and both of them have like shaving cream on their face, and they're going at each other with the razors, and they have to shave each other with the razors, and they both accidentally like nick each other, but they're both like, but nothing happens. They didn't get cut. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And it's so weird. And, they shave each other like smooth. Absolutely hilarious.
Never change Japan.
Yeah, please never. So, yeah, those commercials are just amazing. One of them that really surprised me, and this is at a time that you didn't really hear a lot coming from Van Damme. It was just, he was doing a straight to DVD movies. Yeah. And then here in the U.S., we got a bunch of them from, I'd hate to say it, but like kind of either celebrities of the past or B-list celebrities playing World of Warcraft, talking about, what they like doing, what characters they like playing. Like
Mr. T.
Mr. T was the big one. That was the
Mini-Me.
one. Yep. Vern Troyer and a couple other ones. Did Conan do one? I can't remember if he did one. I'm trying to think.
He did some sort of World of Warcraft tie-in for the show. I don't know if he did an actual commercial.
I don't remember. I know There is a couple of them.
Really random ones.
Well, Van Damme did one for France. And there were some other ones, I think, from around the world, too. But Van Damme does one, and he talks about wanting to be a mage, or he likes being a mage. And
how he's given up punching and kicking forever.
Yes, yeah, man. Yeah. And so he uses magic, and he's like, I turned him into a sheep. A sheep. And, there's like World of Warcraft. Play it and give us your money. But that was a pretty fun one, too, because he's like, bah. Then there's here's where there's two really weird ones. He ends up doing some cell phone commercial ones as well. So he does one in Russia, which I have no clue. They overdub his voice. It is not his voice at all. It doesn't even sound like Van Damme. It's basically saying, he has coverage everywhere. He's on this yacht with this dude who's, I'm assuming, the owner of the telephone company or whatever. And he's like, no, Van Damme, no kicks for coverage or something. It's really weird. Yeah. And then, they go around the world, and it's almost kind of like, can you hear me now? And then that's it. That's like, oh, Van Damme's laughing, like, oh, hey, cool.
Yeah, I pay for the appearance, basically.
Yep. Total phone in, pun intended.
Nice.
And the next one, here's another weird one, another phone commercial. These ones are really weird. Van Damme, I think it's in French. He has a lot of beautiful women at his house, and he has pineapples all on top of their heads and whatnot, and he's kicking them off and, basically creating just these weird pineapple designs from kicking them. One slices off like a sword. One really explodes kind of. And then all of a sudden it just basically ends with him going on his porch looking over this beautiful valley. And that's it.
Yeah. See, if it had been coconuts and he was making coconut water art.
Yes. Yeah, so I really...
Yeah, that was just another strange one. It turns out that one involved no special effects either. That was, he did that all himself.
Oh, man.
There's a documentary about it.
Yeah, there was a total Yeah, you're right. Totally. Then we go back to another Japanese commercial, and this is another flavored gum, but this is like a coffee one, Extria or something like that.
Yes, so it had a really weird, they pronounced it really bizarrely too.
Yeah, they pronounced it like how they do things in Japanese.
Yes.
But Van Damme's version is off from what they say too. Yes. It's like, Extria. And then they're like, Extria. And Van Damme's running late or something he's in a tuxedo, and he flashes the gum, and that's it. Made me wanna have it.
Oh yeah.
So success. We also get a couple of these ads for this herbal supplement tea energy drink too, called Unibaji.
Which you can drink out of a champagne glass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to take
drink
this
some
one
piping
away?
hot tea.
There was a few of them. Really weird. Yeah.
I'll let you take it.
All right. Well, I mean, that was kind of just like the commercial itself. Yeah. He's basically talking about it, and he's holding a wine glass. And I'm like,
it took me a minute to figure out what the hell it was supposed to be for.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
This is an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, I didn't know, and it was just kind of like, okay, this is weird. And then the next one, he's getting his ass kicked in a kickboxing fight. And some guy in the crowd is just like, hey, you know what? Let me give you a testosterone shot in the middle of the match by Unibaji. Gives it to him.
It's much like kickboxer retaliation, actually.
Yeah, man, seriously. And he takes it. And, of course, there's no drug testing involved.
No doping. No dope testing.
And so he starts beating the guy up. The guy falls out of the ring. He falls into the guy's girlfriend that gave him the tea. And then that guy in a tuxedo beats up the dude, the fighter. And then Van Damme smiles and laughs and gives him the thumbs up. And it's like, Van Damme's the one who threw him at you.
Who can be mad at Van Damme, though?
I know. Unibaji. And then the last one, Van Damme's in the mountains, or hills, basically. And he goes to a tree, kicks it a bunch of times, and all these leaves fall down, and he makes the tea out of it. That was basically it on that one.
That was a magical one.
Yeah, totally. It made me feel all warm inside.
Mm-hmm.
But it really made me want to try it.
Yeah, I just have to buy a champagne glass now.
I know. Seriously.
Piping hot tea in a champagne glass.
Yeah.
Just hold it by the stem.
Yep, hold it by the stem, you're okay. So, I don't know what this one is all about because it was in French. I didn't have any captions, no subtitles or anything, no English translation. I don't know if it was like a making of a commercial for Gillette.
Oh,
And
I didn't see that one.
Van Damme's talking to the dude. It's like 3 minutes long. Van Damme, like, at one point grabs the camera from the dude and puts it down, kind of like, hey, why are you filming us? They're talking again. There's a giant swan in the background. The Gillette is all in the background with stuff. And at the end, Van Damme, like, looks at the guy. He's like, I thought I told you to stop filming. And, like, just attacks him, basically. And the camera just drops. That's it. I was just like...
It was an unauthorized commercial.
Yeah, dude. I was just like, what is going on here?
That's a weird one. Yeah.
Really weird, and I didn't find anything else. Did you see this one? The moving camera for hard target. What a weird commercial. This is a commercial that, like...
I didn't realize, like, I was like, are they... I wasn't sure what they were... I was like, is this a commercial for hard target or a making of?
Exactly. Yeah. That's right. Like, you're watching it, and then you realize you're like, this isn't a commercial for the everyday man. This is a commercial basically for Hollywood production companies.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah.
That's something that you wouldn't think you'd get to see.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not at all geared towards us in any way, shape, or form.
Seriously, like, who found this and was like, you know what, I'm going to put this online.
It's a delicious piece of...
God bless you.
Yeah, it's a great piece of found footage.
Yeah, man. So it's at the time, Van Damme is filming Hard Target. John Woo apparently directed this commercial too, and it's basically to showcase all the cameras that they use, like this tilted, like, swirl. It must have been new technology at the time.
Weird Steadicam stuff.
Yeah, very steady. A lot of different Steadicam stuff, and I don't know. I don't know how long Steadicam processing has been out. I don't know when it was invented. I'm not really that deep into it.
Was the 80s?
That's what I think. But, like, this one, some of it was really cool. Like, they showed how the camera worked. It basically zoomed over the bike and, like, twisted and turned. It showed basically the tank of the motorcycle, Van Damme taking off.
It's crazy how much hard work it is on the cameraman. Like,
gosh, seriously,
they're holding these big, like, centrifugal contraptions
and like, like one guy
at arm's length, and
seriously, he's holding it. It's almost it's on a pole, and the dude's like running around with it, and like. You got to have great arm strength to do something like that. Plus those guys. It's one of those things you just don't think about. Because you always think that the camera is seriously mounted, studied. But, like, these dudes are running around with it. And I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Another thing that totally blew my mind is I knew drone and footage was out for a while. I did not know it was that old.
Yeah, no
kidding. They had a legitimate drone with the camera in there, flying, showing, and I'm just like, I thought all these were helicopter shots or high crane shots.
That's so wild. Like, you wouldn't... I'm sure they didn't call it drone footage, but...
Yeah, man. It was so
who knows what the
weird.
hell they called, like, RC helicopter footage, like...
Yeah, it totally blew my mind. Totally blew my mind
it's
that
insane.
They had something like this.
It must have been so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, so dangerous back then,
I know,
too.
man.
You know, because...
That's what I was thinking, too. I was just like, who would want to chance it with that expensive machinery?
It had to have been line of sight because, they didn't have, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or anything like that at the time.
Yeah, man. It really...
So it would have literally had to point the camera in the direction I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, just like, okay, it looks like I'm getting the shot right now. Like,
right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So there was that. And then there was that giant rig that was kind of like a ski lift almost. It was just basically like, oh, hey, attach 2 telephone poles together and then put this giant mechanism holding the camera on it, and then it just follows along with the car.
That's so wild.
And all I could think at this time was like, these were actually made.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't think about how much production work goes into movies, like especially back then when they just do like CG shots.
Right, exactly. Not everything's in front of a green screen anymore. It's just like absolutely insane, the stuff that they did. I that one like might be my most favorite like surprising commercial.
Just because of how fascinating it was.
Yeah, it was weird. It was almost like a mini documentary in a way. It was so weird.
I'm sure John Woo had a field day being able to use all that equipment too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Coming over to America, you can use it and just having fun with it. So this one is really weird too, and the fact that when you watch it, they bleep out the name.
Yeah,
and they
actually
censored the bottle, and yes, it was.
Okay,
totally was. So Van Damme does this energy drink commercial, and he's basically fighting. He's practicing. He's in a darkly lit room, and
he murders a punching bag. Like, just destroys.
He just destroys it with a kick. Yeah, and then he drinks from this energy drink, and this energy drink is beep Supreme. I'm thinking about, like, I was like, should I tease it and just censor it right there, just like they did? So yeah, he's drinking from it. It won't show the label. They censored the label, and they censored him saying it. And I don't know why. I don't know if this was just one of those products. I'm sure if we looked into it, maybe they were like, we have to take this off the market. Maybe something happened. But it's Red Bull Extreme, and this is really before like Red Bull became a big thing over here in America.
He was holding it in a glass bottle,
yes,
wasn't he?
Yeah. Originally, in Thailand, it was in glass bottles. It was a little bit of a different formula. I don't know if the Red Bull Extreme is kind of the formula that we have now in the States. And so, it was really weird, but they bleep Red Bull. You can see him say it. You can hear on the end of it after the bleep, the ol, and then Extreme.
Look at you and your detective work.
Know, right? So I did a little bit on that, and really funny, really weird. So I didn't do too much to figure out why that they censored it, because this is a commercial episode. I'm not going to dig deep into these commercials.
We'll do a Tale of the Tapes episode later.
Yeah, there we go. We're already 35 minutes into this. I didn't expect to talk this long on the commercials. There's only a handful more, I believe.
Yeah, we've gone through most of the spectacular ones.
Right.
Although all are great in their own way.
Oh, yeah. So the next one is from dvdamnesty.com.au, and it's an Australia commercial basically saying, hey, take all your crappy DVDs, give them to us, we'll resell them, and we'll give you better ones. And Van Damme's basically telling people, I have a large DVD collection, while he's putting ridiculous things into a cargo backpack, basically, a duffel bag. And like at first it's small stuff. It's like boxing gloves, and then like a gun, and then like nunchucks, and then it becomes like a bazooka, and and he's just fitting into the bag, and that's the whole thing. They're just like, take all your old movies that you don't want, sell them to us, we'll resell them, and you'll have the option of getting something else. So interesting markup. I'd be interested to ask some Australians how this really worked over there, if it was a success or if it died.
Yeah. That seems strange. I don't know. Because we just take stuff to GameStop or other
I know, right? That's kind of,
pawn off media places, basically.
Yeah. Now, the other one for the same company was Van Damme. It was almost a making of the commercial, basically. And it's him in front of, a white screen, and they're filming him getting filmed, and he's like, all right, ready? And the guy's about to, like, throw the DVD. He's like, no, lower. And so he throws it, and Van Damme kicks it, and everyone's like, yeah. And then it's like dvdamnesty.com.au.
What a strange commercial.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then there's two more that I'm sure there's more of them out there, but really, I mean, we didn't really want to dig really deep into this, the lost archives of Van Damme commercials, but we wanted to just spotlight some of the stuff that he did. He did one where he's on a movie poster, and it's almost like for us, like Spike TV or TNN at the time, or TBS, when it was like action movies. We've talked about that on the past on episodes, but it was like men who like movies and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But this one, it's in French, and he's talking to a guy on a poster. It's like a Bruce Lee poster of some sort. Van Damme's basically getting his hand blocked, but it's in front of his green screen. It's him and another dude, and their heads are replaced on the poster, and they're talking to each other, and they're talking in French, and it's kind of a joke or something. And then it ends with like a really bad CGI of a black eye on Van Damme, and him saying something along the lines of stupid, like, do I have something on my face or something like that? Or, did I get punched or something? And the guy's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And then it ends like that.
Just like, was that Black Sheep, or was that
Tommy Boy?
Was it Tommy Boy where he had the black, like he had the giant bruise on his face?
I think that was a Black Sheep. I think it was.
It doesn't hurt so much here.
Yeah. I think that was Black Sheep. Yeah. And then last but not least, the Van Damme on a mattress doing the splits. Showing off how
my
comfy.
Favorite.
Yeah, this mattress was.
I wanted to jump on that mattress right then and there.
Yeah, I know, right? I would like fall asleep between his legs. It was just a mattress commercial. That's all it is him basically doing the splits. I'm like, hey, how does this feel, Van Damme? He's like, great. That's kind of
Yep. That's all you need.
And then we get into like the commercials that were made for like the Superstation and some of them. I'm trying to remember what the English commercials were, like the UK TV, their own. It's like Action, AXN or something like that. And it's basically taking film clips from his and using them and being like, oh, hey, Van Damme's in this. One of them, it's him from Hard Target. Another one's basically talking about, it's a Van Damme weekend, all those. HBO had a good one. I didn't know about this, but they had one like in the mid 2000s even. And it's basically, at first I thought it was kind of like in the 90s because they were showing stuff from that. But then it's like The Shepherd and like showing all these kind of like late 90s, early 2000 films that they're doing. I was like, oh, okay. But nostalgia really hit on some of these when people showed the commercials playing for Van Damme films on like TBS. And one of them was on Stars and it was Cyborg.
Oh, hell
and they're playing, why you basically want to watch this Cyborg commercial, the film, and I'm just like, it seriously was nostalgia. Like, it hit me when I'm watching this, and I'm watching it on a Sunday, and this is basically like when I remember Van Damme films coming on, getting ready, being like, oh man, I got school tomorrow, I don't want to do this. I'm like, oh, I got work tomorrow, I don't want to go. And I'm just watching it. I mean, it hit me hard. I was just like, whoa. Kids aren't going to experience this nowadays because everything's right there on their fingertips.
Yep, they're too busy eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, and snorting condoms up their nose and through their mouths. So, yeah.
For real though, don't do that.
Yeah, please. Van Damme wouldn't
save some for us.
I found, dude, screw those little Tide Pod shots, man. I actually found a good gallon of Tide. I don't know what these kids are doing. I mean, why buy it in the pod when you get the whole gallon? So anyway,
why buy the cow when you can have the sex for free?
Yep, that's how it goes. So that does it, man. That's it for our Van Damme commercials. A crazy long Van Damme commercial podcast episode. I did not expect to talk for 40 minutes about these, but
that was like 30-ish commercials. So.
It was a lot. There was a lot of Van Damme commercials. And if we missed one that you like or know about, please get at us.
Hit us up. Send us a link.
Yeah, seriously. We'd love to talk about it. jpvdamcast@gmail.com or on Twitter @Damcast. So that about wraps it up. Jeff, thank you once again for coming in studio with me. I am John.
And I am Jeff.
And you have been listening to another episode of the Jean Pod Van Damme Cast. Blacku Blacku!
眠気に美人、眠気に洗濯バサミ、眠気にダイナマイト。眠気ショキリ、ブラックブラック。眠気に一枚、ロッテブラックブラック。眠気にパンチ、眠気にバケツ、壁、眠気に花瓶、眠気に一枚。眠気ショキリ、ブラックブラック。ロッテから。白磁3回が神時です。眠気シュッキリブラックブラック。眠気シュッキリブラックブラック。眠気に1枚ロッテブラックブラックが。